What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be reacting to SpaceX Starship Flight 11. I don't have that many fingers. Let's go.
Minute to go.
All right, T-minus 1 minute. The last V2
As a reminder,
launch.
we can
the last OLM launch.
Hold
This
at
OLM,
T-minus 40. We're not planning to.
It's the end of an era. Here we go. It's a good day today. 81%. Weather is go. Yep.
All right.
We're past the 40-second hold.
T-minus 40. Let's listen in. Flight
been a
Director
long
Ty
time since
Huntington
seen
back
that.
in the seat. Take us through the final
Flight
seconds
directors, go
until
for launch.
Go for launch. All right, here we go. I'm not as hyped as like every early Starship launch, but you know what? I'm optimistic. I can't wait to see how this turns out. And after Flight 11, we're gonna see
T-minus 10,
launches from
9,
Pad B.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bam. All 33 lit. And
We have liftoff.
There we go.
Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
There we go. The last launch off of
Booster
Pad
Raptor
1.
chamber pressure nominal.
That's a beautiful vehicle. Coming up on
Booster
max
and
speed.
ship, nominal power and telemetry.
All 33 are
All
lit.
right, we are about
That's
45
good, that's
seconds
good.
into flight. We're still getting the rattle here at
Now
Star
we're doing
Factory.
that
We are
roll.
seeing 33 out of
And
33
this tracking
Raptor engines
camera is
lit on
amazing.
Super Heavy as it arcs across the Gulf. Coming up next on Max Q.
Max Q. There we go. All right. Now we can see hopefully the vapor cone off of Starship if we can.
Max
All right,
Q.
So at this point, we've passed through that period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute. At that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super Heavy shut down. Our version of MECO. Most engines cut off instead of main engine. And then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it away from Super Heavy and then start making its flight uphill.
Ship 38 right there. That's good.
So in about 30 seconds, we're going to see the engines start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3 center engines that never stop running for this process, and then looking for 6 ship Raptors.
It's crazy. I just saw this Starship roll out of the factory like just yesterday.
MECO coming up in about 10 seconds.
And now it's in space. Like that's how fast SpaceX moves. All right, coming up on MECO.
See the engines throttling down.
Engines throttling down. There we go. There's most engines cut off. Come on.
Ship ignition.
And there we go. Beautiful.
Stage separation.
That is a beautiful flip
back
right
burn
there.
startup.
Boost back burn startup. 1 engine's out. That's fine. That's why we got the other 12 engines.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly, though, we've got 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer space. Meanwhile, this boost back is happening. We're using those 13 engines.
Hopefully they'll do a catch with Pad B.
Well, 12 out of the 13, and then we go down to 3, and then we're
Most
going to shut
likely not,
down for
maybe.
the end of boost back. That's sending Super Heavy back towards its planned splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Now, at this point,
right after we
I don't
finish
even
this
have to
boost
worry
back
if
burn, we're also
Starship
going to
makes
separate the
it
hot
to SECO.
stage. This will be the final time
Boost
that
back
we're
burn shut
doing
down.
this. Is
all right. Boost back burn.
All right, there's the end of the
Shut
boost back
down. You
burn.
can see the plume expanding. There we go.
Should be seeing the hot stage.
The hot stage ring jettison. Stop lagging. There we go.
So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down. Also splash down in the Gulf.
All right.
In the meantime, though, these 6
About
ship
2-3
Raptors are
more
going to
minutes,
continue
we'll see
firing
super
for about
heavy
5
splashdown.
more minutes.
This time they're doing a little bit more of a V3 style.
Next up
landing
for the
with super
booster,
heavy.
though, is going to be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in.
They're gonna, I assume, light some of the outer engines.
All right,
not
so
the
for
inner engines,
booster,
the outer
this
engines.
is one of the main things we're trying
And
to
then
get.
just
is
like
going to be
Flight
this
10,
landing burn.
hover,
that's-
and then
so you
shut
can see
down,
the hot
drop.
stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump happening. They look like they're close together, but there's a good amount of distance between them, and the hot stage will go down and splash down in
Such
the
a
Gulf while the
cool
booster
view.
comes back for its landing burn.
I want to see what the view looks
Starship
like with
is on
color.
nominal trajectory.
All right. Looking good
Well,
on our
this one just
trajectory,
feels
looking
more
good on
industrial.
everything. Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is gathering over here in the office. You can definitely feel the energy in here. Great to see that booster is making its
All
way
right,
down to the
Griffins are
splashdown zone
wiggling.
in the
They're
Gulf.
alive.
Yeah, the shaking down here was absolutely nuts.
Ship
The
is
windows are
rolling a
still there,
little bit.
still intact. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, booster's coming down. We're at about 30
Booster
kilometers.
FPS
About.
saved.
All right, yeah, and as we approach that landing, just like tower catches, we will be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow down. This time it will be in a V3 configuration.
I don't know what the V3 configuration looks like, but
And as we're starting to
about
get
see.
into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster
If
is
it's
using
successful.
4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just
Ship
about
channel
20
pressures on
seconds
the
away
nominal.
All right, landing burn.
from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5
Alright,
to slow down the
there's
booster for
through the
landing. And
clouds.
finally, that will come down to 3,
Landing
and we'll
burn,
cut
show
all
us
of them
the
off while we're
engines.
still about
There we go.
200 meters in the air. So booster is gonna see a bit
Landing
of a
burn.
part of it.
Booster
All
landing burn
13
started.
engines. That's the V3 landing configuration. Okay. 5 engines. That's pretty nice. Shut down of the outer engines. Hover. Shut down.
Booster landing burn shut down.
And there we heard it. Booster landing
And
burn
shut down. There we go.
We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3
That was
demonstration.
amazing.
And into the water we go. Wow, that was absolutely awesome.
That was amazing.
If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
All right.
All right, great stuff,
Now
guys.
it's on the ship.
I'm jealous of the crowd. All right, back to ship. Ship's still making its way. We've got a little under 2 minutes left in this ascent burn, so we've got all 6 Raptor engines still firing. So the next major milestone we're going to be looking for is SECO. That's our second stage engine cutoff. That's should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds into flight, so we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see Booster go through that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. That's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing. Oh, we just got our sonic boom, it sounds like, from the booster coming back. All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those 3 center engines. So we should be a little under a minute until SECO. Just a reminder, this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just going slow enough that we're not going to achieve full orbit. This puts us on a course where those engines shut off, and no matter what, we're coming back to our
Starship is in
landing
terminal
zone
guidance.
in the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the shutdowns come up in just a couple seconds. Less than 30
I was
seconds to go.
low-key
in the ship
expecting
ascent burn.
for Super Heavy to somewhat blow up Pad 1 a little bit. Start the demolition early. That's fine. They're taking it the boring way.
All right, our vacs have shut off.
Vacuums have shut off. Okay, there we go.
3 more to go.
Now for the sea level.
Ship engine
And
cut
there
off.
we go. Perfect. Beautiful. This time, a much more stable coast, hopefully.
All right, all ship Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
There we go.
You just heard nominal orbital insertion, so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot
Ship
planned
STS
for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make its way to the water, but I'm excited to see what ship can do in space. How's everybody doing down there?
This tile configuration on the flap is just so weird.
Yeah, if you could hear the crowd behind us this whole time, people are definitely happy with how the day's been panning out so far. Definitely exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here
All
today.
right, I guess
Yeah,
I'll
we
see you
guaranteed
guys
it at the start
until
of the
the
show,
next
but it has
main
been
event.
an awesome.
Next
All
up,
right, now
we
it's
are
payload deploy.
currently venting down
We're back
the
with
nose
the
cone,
Starlink
essentially the payload
simulators.
area of Starship as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first time on our last
I'm
flight, on
expecting
Flight 10.
nothing but success. Ooh, look at that.
Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening up the payload door already.
Whoa, there's lights in there. That's pretty cool. All right, payload deploy should be coming up. I'm hoping this will be just a little bit faster than last time. Last time it took quite a long while.
All right, looks like we got the
door
door
is
open.
There we go. Hopefully they can just like freaking shoot it out like in the renders.
All right, so payload door is open. Next up, gonna be to start deploying these Starlink simulators. They are roughly the same size as the V2 Starlink satellites that Starship's going to be carrying. That's going to add some pretty crazy capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little bit. We were able to do this for the very first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple of tweaks to the rails for deploying this based off of what we saw last time, but excited to see these get out the door. Our next
So we might
iteration
actually
of
have an
Starship
outside
also
view
gonna
this
have
time of the
a more
payloads
powerful
deployed.
PEZ. It's
I'm
going to
excited for
deploy
that.
these at a little bit faster speed, but
Did he say faster speed?
looking to see our next
Hopefully.
demonstration of this. Hopefully in the next couple of seconds we should start seeing them move out the door. I mean, that view on your left, so you're basically, that would be if you were
That is
sitting
such
at
a
the very top of the
wide
nose
view.
cone looking
I
down.
just now
So
realized that's a
there's
wide view
kind of a
for
short stack.
inside the
There's
payload bay.
4 on either side, so 8 total. When we start flying Starlinks, for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So much larger stack once we start
checked
flying
out
these
the
operationally,
timeline
but still
SpaceX's
doing
website,
a little bit
and
of a short just for
we're around
this
2
payload
minutes
deploy
late.
today.
According to Seco, in the website it said like 8 minutes. It said like 8 minutes for Seco on the
Looks like we
website.
got a little bit of movement there, Dan.
We cut off at 10 minutes. Okay, there we go. There's
Coax it
movement.
out, get it moving, Jake.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
All right,
Again,
first
here we go.
one going out.
There's the first satellite. Show us the flap cam. We're rolling back.
All right, first
We're
one.
just about the same speed as Flight
Getting ready
10.
for the second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
Yeah, it takes about a
And
minute
there
for
we go.
each one.
Yeah, none of these satellites are gonna bang their heads on the
Looks
interwall.
real smooth too. They made a couple of tweaks
That's
to
pretty
those
nice.
rails. If you watched the last one, it had a couple of bumps on the way out, but moving out super clean this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show, but definitely worth
Oh, yeah.
repeating, Starship will deploy
This
Starlink's
mechanism
more
is so
advanced
cool.
V3 satellites,
It
adding
really is
60
a PEZ
terabits per
dispenser.
second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know, Starlink's kind of the MVP for these flight tests, where it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now, but also just real-time data through every phase of flight. So we've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the globe, including out in the Indian Ocean, where we've got our fun buoys floating.
Yeah,
There goes
there we
another
go.
one.
There's the first one. Bro, just show us the flap cam.
I mean,
wanna see
we're
these
using
things
Starlink to
go
bring
out.
all of this together.
I've already
Our
seen
drone
this.
shots you see here from our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along for all these Starship flights.
They better save the flap cam footage for
I think that's number 4. Somebody check my math.
that is number 4, Dan.
Yeah, we've got 4
They better save
Starlink
the flap cam video
terminals
for the-
on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation, and through
They
that,
better
we
save
actually get
the
about
flap
120
footage
megabits
for
of
the-
bandwidth for our
the
downlink.
recap
That's our
of this
real-time
flight.
HD video.
I better see
all
that.
of our telemetry. So it's
If I'm not,
just
I'm
kind of giving
disappointed.
us these cool views inside, but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including reentry. But normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink, powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view.
Yeah, it's moving. The mechanism is moving a lot faster than Flight 10. It's just not the ejection speed.
All right, next one out the door.
There we go. Finally.
There we go.
Can't see nothing. But I did see something.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of who have never had connectivity before.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's nice right there. Look at that thing.
Right, today Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets
well,
with over 7 million active customers and counting. To meet the global
Nighttime
growing demand for
deployment
high-speed internet,
on the
SpaceX
flat cam
expanded
is
its
kinda
factory over in
disappointing.
Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also
put
introduced
so
Starlink
much
Mini
light
as well as an
into
upgraded
the-
version of the
Inside
Starlink
the
standard
Starship.
kit.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and one thing to
It
note
literally
about
looks like a
the satellite
warehouse in
deploy
there.
is that they
But it's
will
not.
be
This thing is
following
literally
the
floating in
same
space.
suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy
Looks like a
sats will not be
factory.
going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on reentry.
Right, the last 4
A
satellites.
couple more to go. I
Or
promise one of these
slabs
days
of
we'll
metal.
deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views for the daytime.
There we go. And
All right, I think we got one more to go.
yep, there we go. Wait, no, that wasn't. Never mind. That was only 2. That was only 2 slabs of metal. Nice sequence there. Beautiful. All right. No more slabs of metal in the bay. All right. I'll see you guys in the next event.
All right, now
All right.
That's
It is
designed to essentially
re-entry.
be the approach that we would do
We are
on a
just
return
coming up
to
on
launch site in the
sunrise
tower
now.
catch. So don't be surprised if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the Indian. And fun fact, even though we're doing all this
They
turning,
still
we're
put the Crew
essentially
Dragon on
targeting
the
the
flat?
exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're still going through that plasma entry. This is looking pretty good. The energetic event that happened
All right,
on the
just
skirt
about
of Flight 10 that
12
happened in
minutes
like
to
the
go.
nighttime region.
Still looking good.
We're looking better this time because we're past the nighttime region.
That gives a pretty
Unless
good
if it
view
happens
of
during,
those aft flaps where,
like,
again,
possibly
on
right
leading
now,
edge, I think it might
then-
be on the one on the
oh,
other
shoot.
side. We had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around
Jesus
Starship,
Christ.
where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to
Now,
make it through this, then that tells us
the
quite a
landing
bit
burn, they're
about just
going to
how resilient
simulate
this vehicle
a
is.
catch. Or at least that's what I heard. They're going to do this kind of the same thing as what they did with the booster. Hover, and
Yeah,
then
and that shot we just had earlier was looking at what we call the business end of Starship
the
with all
ship's
the
going to
Raptor
lean
engines.
a little bit to the
And
side.
those are the engines that we're going to be expecting
simulate
to
a
light
catch.
for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in about 10 minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, looking at E3, that's the one. It's the one we did the relight on. So it's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
Yeah.
All right, it is.
All right, we can see that speed
About
just
time.
continue to bleed off under 20,000 kilometers an hour. Ship still holding together.
This is a great way to end off
Yeah, and
the
if you
V2
look in the
era.
bottom right, looks like we've made it all.
And a reminder, so this camera is, oh, we see
Ooh.
some of the heat rate picking up a little
Ooh.
bit. And this camera is
a lot
embedded
of
right
heat.
in the end of one of those forward flaps, so you see it moving around. That's the flap
So it's banking
adjusting
now,
to maintain control.
which is sort of like how the space
It's like
shuttle
we're getting
used
into
to
our bank maneuver.
re-enter to steer itself to the landing zone. This is what they're simulating, and this is crazy.
Now power sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are
So
coming
they are
down.
basically turning in space. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot that they were doing the banking thing, so when I saw them turning and pitching, it's like, I thought something went wrong there.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
Alright, maximum pressure, so that means that the ship has made it past re-entry. Now we just gotta deal with the
All right,
landing.
that was basically our reverse max Q, so
Reverse max.
most
speed.
aerodynamic stress that it's
Wow.
going to see during reentry, we just passed through it. So we're past that, we're past peak heating. Ship's still holding together. So we're currently in this bank maneuver. We're going to see it kind of roll over and do a pretty
This handled it.
significant shift
The ship handled
as we
it
get
so
down
much
closer
better
to
than
the subsonic speeds.
my version of Starship and KSP.
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago, and we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
They're gonna try to simulate a catch, but I'm not sure about the whole dropping part, just like the booster. I want to see that happen.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere. We should hit transonic, so hitting that
All right, 1 hour
transition between moving
It's gonna be
faster
a
than the
couple
speed
more
of
minutes from
sound
now.
and below the
Starship
speed
will
of sound in just about
basically
3.5 minutes.
cancel out
Our
its
landing
horizontal
burn
velocity,
should happen
move straight
right
to vertical
around
velocity.
an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight. Everybody cross your fingers, see if our range team is able to get out there and provide any surprise views as Starship makes its way
You
down.
gotta have like a buoy. Oh,
Oh, it's like they heard me.
oh yeah. This is gonna be an amazing view of the landing.
Ready and waiting, let's go.
Dan, you just spoke that view into
That drone
existence
had to
there.
have come off the buoy, right? Because there's no way that drone has been flying there just for like
And again,
more than
all
an hour.
brought to us by
RTS flanking
Starlink.
maneuver has started.
It had to came from the buoy.
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. Again, this does almost like a half circle
Maybe they're
loop
using one of the military
to our
drones
actual
where that can
trajectory.
last
We're heading to
a
the
long
same
time.
exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more
This is like
roundabout
the same
way
drone
to
that they
get there,
use
where
at the pad.
it's this kind of big, long half moon loop, and then a really aggressive kind of twist right at the very
All right,
end.
we're coming
and
up
that
on
would
landing.
line us up with the launch tower.
This is
Starship
gonna be exciting.
on a return to launch site would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
Man, Starlink has been cooking. These views, I never thought I would.
How about that S38
get,
decal
like,
there,
on the
staying
first
strong on
flight
that view we
of
just
Starship.
had?
And
Good
these
to
are
see the
high
numbers
quality
back on.
views.
Yeah.
When Blue
All
Origin
right, should be
launched
hitting transonic
New Glenn
in about
for the first
2.5
time,
minutes.
I was so annoyed by the freaking low quality,
Landing flip
hecka
coming up
zoomed
in
in
about
cameras,
4.
in-flight cameras.
Pretty clouds there in the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we
Purely
changed our
because
launch
they
times.
launched
We
at
launched in the
nighttime,
evening
so
now,
what are you
so we
gonna
get
do
these
about it? But,
daytime
come on
views
now.
down in the Indian Ocean. One of the things we're
I
really
just
looking
got
for,
so
the reason we have the
spoiled by
drone, other
Starlink.
than, yeah, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast
now we're
majority of the
entering the
heat
belly
shield.
flap
So we
position.
throw these buoys out there. We've
There's the
got
buoy.
Oh, there's
You spoke it again, Dan. There it is.
they're playing with me in the control room. All right. But we have these buoys out there. We
All right,
have
there we
these
go.
drones
Belly
that
flap
we're
mode.
trying to see externally how the heat shield held up. Everybody saw from
That
Flight
camera
10
better
had
catch.
a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a
Mhm.
reddish hue. That was from
it's
those
turning.
metallic tiles that we had tested.
It's somewhat turning.
Kind of oxidizing really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting
Oh,
to see
wow.
Dynamic
and
pressure
then-
is coming down.
It is sideways.
that. Hope nobody gets seasick.
I don't get seasick that often, dude.
All right, coming up on transonic
Right
shortly.
now it's leveling out.
It's
I
about
assume
2.5
that's part
minutes
of the
landing
banking
burn.
procedure.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship
from
is
those Superflight
transonic,
flights.
starting the belly flop phase of
Crazy.
flight.
Yep, that belly flap phase that
There's
we
the belly flap.
perfected
It's
in the
leveling
Superflight
out.
campaigns. We're entering that now.
I want to see the engine view. Less than 1,000 kilometers an hour. This is a good speed for landing. I'm
It's
excited
starting
for
to get
this.
those Raptors
The
ready.
last
Should be
V2
2
ship
minutes
landing.
away from landing burn. Again, we're going to do a flip.
V3 better not
After
start
we ignite
off
those engines, we'll
like
go from
V2
3
did.
down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown. Hopefully by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a ship.
Starship landing coming up. Flaps doing its perfect job.
Seeing all three center engines have entered the chill phase.
Yeah, some
All right, less than a minute to go.
heat blanket looking things starting to peel off. That's fine.
Shipping
We're
is
already
the
past
ship
the
is
heat
making its turn for final
and
approach.
re-entry anyways. Here we go.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn.
Oh my
That
god.
would essentially position
Oh,
it
this is
so
a good
it's
shot right
right
here.
behind the
This is
launch
a
and
good
catch
shot
tower.
right here. That drone better be on top.
Flaps holding strong.
That drone better be right below
Landing burn in just
Starship.
under 20 seconds.
Show us the drone camera. I don't care about the blue camera.
Ship
All right, we're
landing
punching through
setup.
the clouds. Here we go. Get ready for engine relight. There we go. There we go.
There's our landing burn.
There we go.
3 down to 2.
Starship has landed.
Beautiful. I didn't see much. Like I said, the boom camera didn't see the much. Bam. There we go. There's that explosion. Oh my god. Is that a hunk of a...
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship.
Wow.
We are down
That was a
in the
great
Indian
test flight.
Ocean.
All right, and that was Starship Flight 11. Amazing goals, amazing execution, and I cannot wait for version 3 of Starship. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.